Hey guys, Chad here with That Daily Bourbon, and today we're going to be talking about Fortuna Kentucky Straight Bourbon Whiskey. So this is selected and bottled by Rare Character, from the creators of Rare Character, I should say. This is batch 1A, bottled 9 of 2022. Comes in at 102 proof, and this is a revitalized label. So Fortuna used to be a Glencoe brand way back. 40, 50 years ago, 60 years ago. We'll say 50 years ago. And you say Glencoe's Fortuna, Kentucky Straight Bourbon Whiskey. Obviously, the Rare Character wasn't there. So Rare Character is another brand I've been a big fan of. So this is all sourced from one Kentucky distillery with the minimum age of 6 years. That is not age stated on there. That is just coming from Pablo Moy, who is one of the founders and creators of Rare Character and Fortuna. The back of this as quickly as possible. It is 2 paragraphs, and I don't want to run on. At the height of America's original whiskey boom of the late 19th century, a German immigrant named Phil Hollenbach crafted a brand called Fortuna that helped define the early days of the modern bourbon industry. Hollenbach left a lasting mark on the whiskey trade. Having found great success in Louisville, Kentucky, he strived to delight customers far and wide by sharing his taste of good fortune. Fortuna. Over 100 years since its inception, Fortuna has now been revitalized for a new generation of whiskey lovers to celebrate, aged a minimum of 6 years, it does say it, and hand-selected by the folks behind Rare Character Whiskey. The spirit of Hollenbach's passion and dedication lives on this remarkable Kentucky Straight bourbon. This is distilled in Kentucky, bottled by Fortuna in Stanford, Kentucky. Minimum 6 years old, all from one Kentucky distillery, which is undisclosed. I have my guesses. People have their guesses. Let's have a nose. Good blood orange, a little bit of nuttiness on the nose, some honey, toasted graham cracker, and vanilla. I know this nose well. I've not drank all of that. I have shared it with the Bourbon Life podcast, which is a couple crew episodes ago. So if you have not heard that yet, check out the crew episodes. This is featured on one of them. I do enjoy a pour of this at least once a week. A little hint of allspice on there. Just light fruit. I don't know how to describe it, like pear, strawberry. I mean, it's kind of like a light fruit medley. Nothing super strong, nothing defining. It's just light and sweet, but in a fruity manner. Let's have a taste. More of that honey graham cracker on the palate. Nice little bit of cinnamon sugar, vanilla. Has just a hint of a malt note in there that kind of shows through, bringing a little bit of sweetness, a little bit of tea, hint of coffee. Getting more of that citrus on the palate now. Really coming in like a product similar to that. Great notes. Great punch of vanilla on the palate. You're kind of getting an average of everything. It sits very middle. It's not leaning more spicy, more sweet, or oaky, or floral, or anything. It kind of just sits right in the middle of the flavor wheel, which is kind of touching in every portion. It's been called a modern day dusty. And if you've ever had a dusty whiskey, it's got a little bit of that funk, a little bit of something out of the ordinary that we're not used to today. And I think that is because it has such a clean, balanced profile that usually you're not used to something like that these days. Everyone's doing an oak, they're doing a secondary maturation. They're doing oak staves of some sort. They're, wine barrel finishes, high proof, crazy grains. This just kind of harkens back to just a good standard, what makes a good bourbon. So this just really kind of finds its way of hitting a damn good bourbon, like hitting that nail right on the head. Very good profile, 102 proof. 102 proof? Yeah, 102 proof. So this is something that's not too hot, not too light and proof. It's a little on the thinner side body-wise, but you could have several pours of this. You could drink it every day and be happy with it. I'm very happy with it. The only reason I don't drink it every day is because I've got so much. Comes in retail. I've seen it as low as 75, as high as 100. So you kind of have to balance that out in there. Minimum 6 years old, up to possibly $100. It's the new norm. I've been saying for the last few months now, 90 is the new 50. So it really is, what is your dollar worth to you? Do you want something that kind of checks the boxes, that's not super crazy out there, wild, finished, high proof or just funky grains? Or do you want something that is just a quintessential bourbon you can pour for anyone and enjoy? I'm a big fan of this. I'm happy I bought it. I will be buying another because it's on sale for like 70 bucks down the road. I think it is a good showcasing, especially in today where as a person who loves toasted and double oaked and finishes, I love the crazy stuff going on. Always invent. You should always push the boundaries and you should always see what's next. I'm that kind of person, but it's also nice to just have a good bourbon, just a good bourbon. And this Fortuna and Pablo, anyway, the people behind Rare Character, they've done a good job of just showcasing a good bourbon. A little mint that time coming through on the palate, like a spearmint. Still getting those nice citrusy, light oak, vanilla, cinnamon. It's just a good everyday bourbon. A little bit of nuttiness on the palate. I mean, we can talk about whether or not it comes from Heaven Hill with having the Shapiro tie, but really, who cares? I mean, it's a good bourbon. And I keep saying that because every time I have a sip of it, I'm reminded like, holy shit, this is good. You know, this is up there with me as far as like if I have a daily drink or something I drink on the regular, it's items like Ed Williams 1783 from Heaven Hill, Wild Turkey Rare Breed, Stellan Bourbon, just the standard Stellan Bourbon, and believe it or not, an MGP product. Final thoughts on this, I'm a fan. I think everyone should try it. You know, if you know someone who's got it, or you can go somewhere, taste it in a store. I think it's a very well done product. Yes, I have talked to people who have been like, well, it is most likely sourced from XYZ at 6 years old, and you know, it's at this store for $95. I just don't think that's worth it. And I say that to people all the time about what I think it's worth. But at the end of the day, if you don't take price into consideration and you just want a good bourbon, I say buy it. I usually do take price into consideration. But let me know below what you guys think. Have you tried anything from Rare Character? If not, you should be on the lookout for those bottles. Get at least one. They've all been fantastic. I've got about 30 of them in my closet. There's not a bad one in the bunch. But do you like Rare Character? Have you had Fortuna? Let me know your thoughts below. Let me know what you think of bringing back an old brand. I love the label. It's true to the old Glencoe design. If you've not seen it, look up Glencoe Fortuna. You'll see how close it is. Aesthetically pleasing. I think it's a great looking bottle or great looking label. It's a good bottle of whiskey. Let me know what you guys think. Have a great day. Cheers, y'all.